Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is BrightOps, and today we are going to be playing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader. Ugh. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Anyway, this has recently come out, like within the last month or so. I have not played this yet. I'm looking forward to doing this. I do love my Warhammer stuff. But anyway, Lord Captain, long-lost worlds filled with unknown perils, deadly enemies, and ancient mysteries await you. Bring the word of the Emperor to the Kronos Expanse or die trying. New game. We as developers are always striving to improve our work. To do this, we need information that we can only get from you. By sending game statistics and bug reports to us, you can help us learn more about the way you play and what difficulties you encounter in our game. Since this game is based on Unity technologies, you can opt out of data collection anytime. Yeah, we'll go data collection. Scenario. Main story. Other story modes are coming soon. Take up the mantle of a rogue trader, the scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of Vanilla Claris, as it faces multiple threats from within its own ranks and without, as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of the shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the Vanaclaris dynasty, currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes are high and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful, ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Kronos Expanse. Difficulty normal. Let's see. Let's see. Enemy stats, introducing wounds, and dodge are not reduced. Enemies then inflict full damage. The party's momentum gains are not scaled. Minimum damage for party members is 0 to 10%, whichever is greater after all modifiers have been applied. Party members resolve its equal at base. Whatever. Yeah, we'll go daring, why the hell not? Choosing this difficulty is not recommended for players not familiar already with Rogue Trader's system as well as its implementation in this game. Do you confirm your choice? Yes. Okay, so we've got potentially three... Yeah, we've got three characters we can pick automatically, or we can custom. Create your Rogue Trader from scratch. The possibilities are endless when it comes to customizing your character and choosing their homeworld, gender, and background. You can also choose from a wide variety of abilities and skills, such as combat skills, social skills, and technical skills. These abilities and skills determine how your character interacts with the world and what kind of challenges they can overcome. Finally, you can choose your character's archetype. Each archetype path offers its own unique set of opportunities and challenges, so choose wisely. With all these customization options at your fingertips, you can create a rogue trader that is truly one of a kind and embark on your adventure unlike any other in the world of Warhammer 40k. Okay. Firstly, our portrait. What does it mean by custom portrait? Oh. Choose your own portraits, change the images of the Oh. Oh. That's interesting. Let's see, Rogue Trader portraits. It's just the ones by default. We do not have any custom artwork at this point in time. Which is, sad, but whatever. I have to admit, there is a part of me that kind of does want to... That does want to actually have the custom one, but we don't. Change. Okay, since we... Choose your own set of portraits, change the images in the folder. For proper operation, do not change the names, formats, or size of the images. Sorry, I was just having a quick look at that. I don't really particularly want to mess around with that at this stage, though you have to admit, just the artwork of this is beautiful. God damn. Let's... Yeah, we'll start with you. Appearance. Face. Let's see. What do we want to do with you? I do like this one a bit. Body. Yeah, a little bit thinner. Yeah, we'll go with that particular skin tone. Oh god. Truly, it is. Truly, we have so many options. There be many. Let's see, eyebrow. Yeah, I think. Oh, we have more to potentially pick from. Yeah, we'll go with that one, I believe. Let's see, eyebrows. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're a rogue trader in 40k. We can be as flamboyant as we fucking want to be. Just noble and flamboyant as we desire. For it is our Emperor God-given right. We look like bloody Blackbeard. Look like 40k Blackbeard, and I love it. Let's see, scars. But we don't need scars. Not if we don't want to, but why not? As for tattoos, oh, we can have multiple tattoos. Awesome. Yep. Yep, I think Augmentation. Yeah, it makes sense. What kind of rogue trader would we be if we didn't have some degree of augmentation? I do love... Oh, we can do multiple augmentations. Nice. I do love the very idea that our character literally is wearing a wig. Let's see, bold. Let's sigh. Sorry, I'm having a bit of fun with this. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Okay. As for various worlds, we have Death World. So on Death Worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself takes aggressive and destructive forms in, I don't know how to pronounce that, to human life. While exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Death Worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. So features survival instinct. Once per battle when the wounds of the talents. Okay. After origin advancement. Voidborn. Voidborn are humans birthed in the belly of a void vessel or aboard an ancient orbital satellite. Those who have lived their lives on void ships become inured to some extent due to the reality-altering process of warp travel and to living in low or zero-gravity environments. In many cases, their features are drawn and their skin pallid. They may even have minor deformities or a strange to their speech, gait, or general appearance that sets them apart from others. Let's see, a Voidborn character can reroll any failed attack, dodge, parry, or whatever. Additionally, any enemy dodge or parry against a Voidborn character has a 20% chance to fail after a successful roll. Okay. So that would be willpower and intelligence. So, Death World is a strength, agility, and toughness, though intelligence and fellowship is down. Let's see. A hive world's population is so dense that great swaths of the surface of the world is frequently covered in gigantuum cities bejeweled with towering spires that pierce the atmosphere. Hive worlds are vital to the welfare of the Imperium and are the beating heart of its economy and war machine. They produce munitions for the Emperor's armies and vast manufactories, mine valuable minerals, and refine fuel for the Imperial Navy. Innumerable regiments of the Astra Militarum are raised from their massive populations as well. So fellowship and agility, but the willpower is lower. Camaraderie, number. So Highwood characters can pass willpower resistant tests using their fellowship value instead of the character's fellowship is higher. Okay. Outnumber. If a Highwood character has melee supremacy against the enemy, the effect is increased by +10. Weapon personalization, helping hand, and fresh start. Okay, Forge World. Forge Worlds are the domain of the Adeptus Mechanicus, entire planets ceded to the demands of vast macro industries, each on a manufacturing super complex of unimaginable capacity and power. Over the millennium, different forge worlds have become especially renowned for their philosophies or ways of war. They are often colored by the technologies they specialize in manufacturing. The bulk of a forge world's population is utilized as a labor force, while the fortunate few may be inducted into the ranks of the Adeptus Mechanicus itself. So Mechanicus, Fellowship... You know what, I've got a dice here, and there's 6 options, so we're going to just roll a thing. Number we get is what we get. So 1d6, let's see what we go. 5. Imperial World. An Imperial World is one of a million planets united in the belief in the immortal God Emperor. Hailing from hyper-technological societies to grim feudal populations, the inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the Master of Humanity and the Imperial Creed, exposed by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are nevertheless part of the Imperium. Imperial World characters can select any characteristics except for weapon skill or ballistic skill and add a +10. Ready to serve. When an Imperial World character is afflicted by an ally's non-damaging ability or affect an ally with such an ability, they are resolved as increased by their fellowship bonus for 1 round. Under 40 runes, Imperial World characters gain a +10 to all characters this and 2 to resolve. If no other character in the current party has the same archetype as this character, the first use of any abilities from the archetype costs 1 action point less. No heresy. Imperial World characters gain +10 critical hit chance and +10% armor against Xenos and Dignomic creatures. Their allies gain half the bonus of no heresy. However, Imperial World characters' Law, Xenos, and Law War are always 0. Let's see, Stronger Together. All allies, excluding Xenos, in the current party gain +5 to the same characteristics as those was chosen for humanity's finest. Okay, so we are very much not a Xenos-friendly person. Let's see, strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, perception, willpower, or fellowship. Well, we are meant to be the rogue trader, so being able to talk to people is probably a good idea. Origin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Annoyingly, my dice is only a d4. Though I do have 2 dice. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to roll, and in the event that we roll a 7, we will go Sanctioned Psycho. Anything else? If it's below 7, we'll pick something else. Why not? See what we get. Okay, we got an 8. So, yeah, not Sanctioned Psycho. Sanctioned Psycho is out of the thing, so... out of contentions. I am aware that what I just did was bloody madness, so... let's see what we got. We'll just roll a d6. We're just not going to do Sanctioned Psycho. d6. It's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Imperial Navy is responsible for the fleets of void ships that assert the dominance of the Imperium amid the stars and fulfill other duties connected to the void and warp travel. He used to be a Navy officer and a commander of a void ship, hardened in numerous battles and famous for resounding victories. Yep, I'm very much okay with this. We should probably be looking into the talents, but another time. Triumph. So, okay, we've got 3. So, d6 again, though 1, 2 is Apex of Brilliance, 2 and 3 and 4 is Illustrious Glory, 5, 6, Feat of Greatness. 3. Your ship became the first to take a now reclaimed warp route to a cluster of humanity's lost worlds. Let's see, Yeah, commerce. Darkest Hour. Let's see. Same thing as before. We got a 4, so Brand of Shame. Once in your past, when the temptation of easy games got the better of you, you resorted to piracy and were caught red-handed. So commerce goes down. Oh well, archetypes. Imperial World, Navy Officer, Illustrious Glory, Brand of Shame. So level 1 is Warrior, Officer. You can only choose one of the 4 first-tier archetypes at this moment. Archetypes are development paths that your character follow. Each archetype encapsulates a unique set of skills and expertise and represents a specific combat specialization, from the frontline warrior to the indispensable leader preferring to command from the rear. Choose who you want to be in the grim future. See, warrior. Warriors are combatants boasting exceptional melee prowess, capable of dealing high damage in close quarters combat and withstanding heavy amounts of damage. They also excel in drawing enemies' attention from less defended allies. Officer. Officers use their willpower and fellowship to improve the combat capabilities of their allies, turning them into even greater threats on the battlefield. Core features: extra turns, single target buffs, rescuing allies, momentum. See, use... Okay. Operative. Intelligence and perception to find and exploit weaknesses in the enemy defenses. None can withstand an attack from an operative. Well, we're an officer. Makes sense for us. Characters, fellowship, do. Okay. Characteristics. Alright, so here's what we get. We get points. We were a naval officer. So with that set, it's max. See, ballistics reflect all forms of range damage. Agility measures a character's quickness, reflexes, and poise. Yep. Intelligence, perception, and willpower. I think we can lower that down. We'll lower that down. Perception and boost willpower up. And because we can, we'll also... Yeah, we'll go for some toughness. Ah, no, never. Actually, you know what? Intelligence, let's go. Radio. Void ship. We only have the one. And we get to name it. Okay. What do we want to name our ship? Let's see. Let's see. No. Damn, it's kind of hard to come up with names on the fly, isn't it? Let's see, we are from a Imperial World naval officer. Emperor's Bounty. Let's see, the Van Claris flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the Van Claris dynasty. Every system aboard this freighter has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. The flagship's size is maneuverable, and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting the countless pirates, xenos, and heretics of the Cronus Expanse. See, numerous Van Claris rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the dynasty. See, so about 1.6 kilometers in length, about a third of a kilometer beam at the fins, estimated tonnage about 6 megatons approximately, about 26,000 people on board. Rogue trader. Okay. Brace for impact. In full round, the naval officer and their allies in a 3-cell radius gain 2 deflection for each archetype taken by the naval officer. They also cannot be forcibly moved or over-penetrated. Okay. Think we're good. We haven't even gotten to the game yet. That was just character creation. Good lord. The upper decks. Press any key. It has to be said, I can't help but feel like the idea of a 1.6 kilometers isn't as long as people think. Let's see. Next. Yep, as he said, he talks. The man who was approached you is gazing down to the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. Okay. You are in a dialogue. Here you can learn more about current events, influence the characters you are speaking to, or even alter the course of the game's narrative. Your character's personal story depends on the dialogue choices you make. Let's see, to do. Got it. Truly an awe-inspiring sight. Frankly, such access can be tiring at times. All this extensive luxury, this laughable pretense, it is enough to make one think that the architects meant to compensate rather than glorify. The man nods in satisfaction as you... He sighs and turns from you. Valencias. Okay. Commodore Brightops van Menard, Lord Captain of Dice's Blessing. You can cover over highlighted words to get more information. Okay, fair enough. Lord Captain of Dice's Blessing. Let's see. He smiles faintly, but you're not sure if it is directly at you. See, why am I aboard this vessel? You say I'm one of their heirs, so there is another candidate? Okay, why am I aboard this vessel? You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities? Tell me about the one whose ship I have found myself. Yep, Warren of Trade. I am very familiar with the concept. It's sort of weird that, yes, he speaks, but the parts, like, in between, like, descriptions aren't. So, I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it. By the right of blood, rogue trader Theodora von Van Claria. You said it before and I fucked it up. Move the camera using Okay. Journal entry by the right blood. Desires personally meet with the person recently brought aboard her flagship. A storm is brewing over the dynasty, so the Lord Captain is something important to share with her heir, if she ever gets the chance. Serving the do. Interactable objects. Some objects in the game can be interacted with in a special way. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects, others to transfer the character to neighboring locations, or to launch a small event. These icons become visible when your character is standing close enough to the interactive object. Click the left mouse button on the icon to perform the associated action. Some interactive objects, such as doors and chests, are not always marked with icons, so the cursor changes when you hover over them. Hold tab to highlight objects your character can interact with. The sacred has been interfered with without due reverence. The durance of the process cycle has been tripled. Oh, incomprehensible information is displayed on a large screen above the cogitators. You can make out references to unfamiliar systems world among the numbers and logisticals. The massive currents table, obviously carved from real wood, a resource of incredible value aboard a void ship. A Kennelet altar with a copy of the 2038th volume of the Lex Imperialis, the Codex of the Sacred Laws of the Imperium. Okay. Destroy the out-of-control servitor. You have been ambushed. The battle begins. To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system. Click the button on the top of the screen to start the battle. Start the battle, yeah. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within to move a character there. Movement points, okay. One movement point corresponds to one cell on the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second costs 2. At the beginning of each turn, movement points are restored to the maximum value. Note that once a character starts moving, the action can no longer be cancelled. Brace for impact. Voice forces an ally to fully push themselves. Increase their characteristics by 1 for a round. Apply to the target of the voice from any distance. Okay. We haven't ended the turn yet. To make actions and abilities, combat to do, spend action points. Totals displayed on a particular thing. Let's see. On the panel on the bottom of the screen. There we go. Start of each turn, they're restored to maximum. To attack, left click on the single type on the weapon panel. The amount of damage it deals depends on the parameters of the weapon that you're using. Certain abilities of the game are considered attack actions, can only be used once per battle. Okay. Oh, I guess. Oh, you're on cooldown. So that's action, movement. We don't have movement. Okay. Without taking his eyes... Without taking his eyes off the bodies of the floor, I don't know how to pronounce his actual name, removes the Foxcaster from his belt and speaks a few quick orders into the device, then he turns to you. Spread out, no one is allowed to enter the premises. Stations? At your service. Okay. Let's see what we can get. These windows look to the next room, not outside the void ship. You cannot make out anything through the Kelly glass, only the weak light filtering through from that side. The wires in the surface are still smouldering. It could seem to cause the malfunction was the short-circuiting of the modem force. Tranche to the sentry gun, constructed by the blessing of the Adeptus Mechanicus using a standard template construct in the manufactorums of Calvia Grammar. Lehman Rust tank battle reclaimed and restored by the grace of the Emperor, the first to breach the capital walls during the pacification of Vortex Keton. A violent ally upon which closer inspection turns out to be handcrafted objects, symbols carved with a primitive tool are visible on the surface. A black shard resembling obsidian. If you look closely, you can discern a strange, barely perceivable glow through the artifact. A massive golden ogram into space with sparkling particles. The stone and the pedestal is no doubt solid, but its surface shimmers and changes hue, as if someone has captured a piece of turbulent sea within the rock. This exhibit is unfinished, another symbol of House Van to do value at some point in the future. A strange object that resembles sea coral. The pyre's surface is pitted, a sign that it has been underwater. A green crystal with white veins. A low hum can be heard coming from the artifact. The Groid Vine Chip Temple occupies the entire space below the opposite deck and is lit by countless candles and lamens. Let's see, map to orient ourselves. Oh. This is simply irrational, Lady Theodora, says the man dressed in particular garb, his voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered by synth skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation to the trade structure would be political and economic suicide, particularly an admission of heresy. Practically. The tall, grey-haired one pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my Central could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Aeon 6? Eldoreth? Survey the room. Your first impression of Eldorad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin scratched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants and bone, the nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements of all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Elder Thrad, Theodora von Falk... Let's just go with Theodora, Features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Elthred. Behind the two of them, you see two more men. One is a grey-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manners of weapons. Our second candidate has joined us. The dry female voice and the powerful feeling of being watched force you to look at Theodora. The rogue trader is looking straight at you, and her gaze, like herself, is predatory and oppressive. Bright Ops, approach and give me your answer. Your character's skill casts reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed or a hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected to be given passive skill for each passive skill test. Consider this hypothetical situation. Aeon 8/6. A new world on the fringes of the Kronos expanse. High systemic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights are fancy, you might say, but attempts to install oil extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Let's see, Lord Xenos succeeded. The spirits who could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case, and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship. See anything else? Yeah, Xenos worship. Theodore arches an eyebrow. Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor. Eldrith scoffs. Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with Mydrid horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you, Bright Ops, are simply unaware of their existence. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand it, is still more than you could do, Elthred. We are both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? I find your tone most disagreeable, Elthred. You will kindly alter the manner of which you address me, or else you will live to regret the consequences. Let's see. We are both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? Elthred looks at you with suspicion. Even among his flock, not all are of a piece, Bright Ops. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely. Elthred, Theodore's tone renders him silent. I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me, then, why my senior Craig, I don't know how to pronounce that, is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence with the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me, I will forget the time. Alfred bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. Theodora's gaze follows him as he leaves, then she turns to you. So, Bright Ops, why are you here? Was it not you who sent for me? There are questions I wish to have answered. Was it not you who sent? Theodora scoffs. You have ceded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lick-splittery, compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came to you, the terms of your existence changed. My name is Theodora von Mesmio of Scarius. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of Humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by the most sacred relic, the warrant of trade kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign and bode death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discovered, along Along with all there is to find therein, resources, people, riches, and mysteries is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, Brightlops, are one of those whom the von Van Cleef's blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. I am ready to take on this sacred purpose. Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of a rogue trader. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the highest honor to become the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Theodora sighs and looks away pensively for a brief moment. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Conrad served me for many years before he made his mistake. Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Wisdom is related to you. His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nevertheless, he does bear the name Van Claris, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voltaire's performance in his current role is satisfactory, or it used to be at least. One of that mean there are others. Naturally, some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Elthred may be somewhat discourted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. If you are satisfied with him, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me? Theodora shakes his head. Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Elthred as my successor, I still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here in the Cronus Expanse. You were once a Lord Captain yourself, aboard your own ship. You know everything there is to know about the life of this gargantuan beast and its thousands of crew members. You know how fickle machine spirits can be, how weak-willed are the rabble from the lower decks, how a single tactical decision can turn the tide of a battle. Few people can claim to have such priceless experience that is so highly sought after my calling. Moreover, Theodora chuckles slightly, even changing your family name will not rid you of the fame you previously garnered. I hope it will also help you bring glory to the Van Clarius dynasty, for which you now belong. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now? The vox affixed to Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodora winces, shuts off the transmission, gives you an imperious nod. I have some time, for the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. No, navigator transition. I'm a fucking naval captain. I know what those are. An incident took place on the Void officer's deck. Some services went berserk and attacked the crew. Where is your ship heading? What am I current? Well, might as well inform her. Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance, or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield, or perhaps there is something to all the stories that the ship is possessed after all. Theodora laughs nonchalantly. The grey-haired officer gives the rogue trader a look of cautious disapproval. Lady Theodora, for the God Empress' sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff. Enough, Elbrod. Such heresy amuses me. Adu eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. She turns to you. The ship is thousands of years old. There is enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folk speak of spectres dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Let's see, where is your ship heading? The Ricard system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale. One of my peers and rivals. Only 3 rogue traders exist in the Cronus Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House Van Claris in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Ricard on the demand. Theodora grimaces. She gives you a stern look and shrugs. For a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet appraise you on the purpose on this voyage, but now is not the time. What's my current? Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did Elthred. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide. Let's see, I could suck up to her a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that she's made it quite clear that she doesn't like suck-ups, so I have no more questions. In that case, I shall head to Theodora's Vox awakens once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Voxcast, then nods and draws a weapon. Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Essential, if the need arises, protect the new blood. She glances at you. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated. Let's see. So Heretic Cutthroat, this is where we are. Theodora. Damn. Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a character can hide behind is marked in a shield or a shield with a skull. When standing close to the character will only take up any advantage position. In this case, the chance that enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the character behind them increases. The character will not receive a bonus of attack from a side not protected by the current cover. Let's see. Okay, we missed you. Yep, fair enough. Brace for impact, might as well. Here has received positive effect from an ally. Such effect to do. Why can't I use this? I guess I have to start? Oh well. Theodore waves her hands in a commanding gesture. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single horse son survive. The rogue trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scam came person to the desk. Not bad. I have seen many an officer packed at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The full sense of security offered by their position makes them much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel. She looks at the box in her hand. All you can hear is lifeless static. The incident with the rampage may be connected to what is transpiring now. Possibly, quite likely. Theodora winces and flicks the switch on her Vox a few times. We'll investigate it at a later time. Right now we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. What are your orders? She breaks eye contact with you. Mortar's gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the arch-militant requires aid, and be quick about it. Find the arch-militant. The massive golden structure never stops moving for a moment. Light bounces off the orbits and figures representing celestial bodies. I'm concerned. Once you are done with the riot, I want you to have a look at the logistics report. We need to understand what happened on the decks during the warp jump and the preparations preceding it. They're shooting, but I'm not entirely... Guess I can't shoot them. Well... Oh, we can't... Okay, we can't go that particular direction. That way's cut off too. Alright, we found him. Wonder why they've suddenly turned off the vocal thing. Conrad, let's set aside release when seeing you. Thank Providence you're alive and well. Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fight's done. You could set your chrono by it. Conrad pointing looks away from the Arch-Militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. The Arch-Militant looks back at you. What, did the Lord Captain send you to chevy us along? We are all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports the situation. Master, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent, the Vox Master is not responding, armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I have not yet received word from the Engineering regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I have received scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only vox casts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. He pauses. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. But who would attempt a mutiny in the warp? A mutiny against the Emperor's anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. We must provide immediate assistance to those still in the middle decks. Perhaps we might stop this wave from spreading. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Theodora looks at Conrad. Alfred, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assaulted by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen and improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements was he arrived at Transitional Deck 18. Blast it! Master Whip is find Ethelred immediately. Sensual, locate Thraz and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Archmilitant with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics on the way. Bright ups. Theodora glanced at you thoughtfully. If I may, Lord Captain. Conrad's voice is soft and cautious. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Alfred back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Archmilitant, and taking into consideration Ethered's psychic powers... Then it's settled. Bright ups, find Ethelred and bring him here, in whatever state you find him. This elevator, she points at the massive doors, leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? Let's see. I hear and obey, Lord Captain. Shall do everything in my power. Theodore waves her hand impatiently. Then move out. More to come on. Conrad gives you a nod. Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk and you do not even have proper gear. I shall make do. I have a proposition. Since I am the more important person here, you can go in the front to shield me from potential threats. Make clear that relying on you is fraught with risk. I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket for something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. I promise you a special destiny. Perhaps it is time to fulfill it. I'm guessing he may be... It's possible he may be the one screwing us over. You are the one behind this mayhem. What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? Coercion. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of grok shit? Oh, that's not a good sign. Let's see, one of the valuable requires a skill test. Unlike the passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequence of which will depend on the result of the associated test. Let's see, once a character starts traveling with allies, the party to do. Got it. The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous and your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Fight the voice in your head. I am not your puppet. The voice in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step towards the gate looming at the center of the chamber. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the corpse twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created by a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eyes sockets lighting up as the two embers rise. Examine the device. Text succeeded. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that is used as material for the machine's components, some of which is unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. The servitor of the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen on the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Conrad ruined you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine the sentinel. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering the stitched joints with copper thread, and his metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of an ordinary automaton. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber's outer room is completely empty and is in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rhubarb in sight. Look back. Fine. The sentinel's jaws clamps around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops falls into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servitor's motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The sentinel's jaw remains closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened. You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the sentinel, your cogitator? Is it a fragment of your worrying mind? Whatever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Huh. The enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impenetrable. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade, and bestow upon them to do paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and claim what was lost, triumph over nightmares untold, to hold bodily the reins of fate, to walk steadily in the ruins of thorn, through pain to greatness. The service door's creaking gradually turns into comprehensible word. I need to preferably. The servicer goes silent. It's relays clacking second after second passes, and they realize the servicer will not answer you. I need a contact, preferably Theodora. In place of the mechanical screeching, the servicer's voice projects the voice of Theodora, distorted and ridden with static, yet still recognizable beyond the doubt. Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator's Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head. What man doesn't who are you? Who addresses me? Are you the Warden Sentinel? As the game story unfolds, you will see at the top of the screen indicating the status of the current objective to be updated, and the new information has been added to your journal. You can open the journal by pressing to do, help you keep track of current events. Let's see. Symbol order will lock it. The essential Albrelid has lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating, and one of the sleeves of his coat is torn and soaked through with blood. Nevertheless, despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm and gazing, demanding, a bit somewhat surprised. He surveys the carnage around him. His brow frowns, and he places a hand on his weapon. What is the meaning of this? Conrad is a traitor. When we parted ways on the opposite deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here. He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan. He's clearly serving the unholy gods of the warp. See, openly he's the mastermind of the mutiny. Let's see, stub revolver, armored bodysuit, and medikit. Awesome. When fighting, you can lose some of their wounds. Your character suffered injury after being attacked by Conrad. That means happens when your character receives damage that proceeds to do within 1 round. 6% of wounds a character must lose. 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds are passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed with a medkit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with a medikit, but they require a character administering the treatment to pass a medikit test to succeed. Use medkits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note that when a character loses all their wounds, they fall unconscious. Once the combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a medkit. Let's see, you have the field medical skill, base skill, medikit, or have taken medical skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses them to do. Okay. Equip. 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 Can't be equipped with this character, but you can equip it, so... Yeah, I have it. Oh wait, we can't... Cannot be equipped, so... Okay, fair enough. To equip... Yep, already did that. Okay. Alright. What's wrong with the translation? Let's say, I think the void center may have sent that message appeared when I opened the chamber. Hmm. If I had to guess, it might be possible that when she was doing it, she wasn't here under duress. What do we expect to find in the sanctum? Arbla does not bat an eye as he lists all the horrors that you are about to face. The Imperium Humanity. A wave of static suddenly erupts from the server skull, and you can make out Theodore's words through the noise. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might destroy those who have dared. Ugh. I'm trying. I should have stopped and saved it went after we opened the door, but oh well, after this fight, we will. Combat begins with tactic, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions, but they try to take up advantageous positions. Let's see. We're just going to pull back slightly, just for the sake of let them, because they're going to be charging at us first, I believe. Combat differ on their archetype. Available ability to look to do. Cleave. And then the area in the 1 cell radius. Sadly. Oh, that's me. Never mind. Save. Oh, right, I can bloody multi-person. Awesome. Well, we fucked that up. Yeah, I should have just single-shotted that. Oh well. Unique, especially Melicon, drawing the enemy's checks. Charged, all that. Okay. Well, they're dead. Strike and parry. He is just parrying like a motherfucker. Congratulations, you just shot your people. Ah, you survived. Happens. Movement attack. I may not be the best at shooting rapidly, but I can do a burst. But I can shoot single shot people like no one's business. You can advance the level of the character and companions, failing battles, exploring the expanse, and completing quests earn you experience points. Once you have enough experience, gain a level to do. New progression options. Your companion... Okay. Defeat have no further need for their belongings, but you can discover valuable trophies among them. Oh, we can now loot enemies. Sweet. Right. Let's see, anything interesting? Les pistol... Swords. Bunch of swords. And camp may have different kinds of weapons, which can be prepared in advance. Okay. Can't really make much use of... Can't really make use of a las pistol, because our stub revolver is simply better than it. Oh well. But yes, until next time, my name is Brett Ops. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.